Hey guys, I'm Nimrod, co-founder and CTO of Buzz, and I'll show you today how you can get great AI code review for your own code base. So what we're looking at here is the essence behind how Buzz is built. We've leveraged all our knowledge around code review and coding in general to understand that code review is not one task. It's a lot of small tasks that need different contexts, different setups, and different understanding of the code base. So we don't have one code review agent. We have a fleet of them. You'll see here the 9 code review agents that we maintain, the Buzz code reviewers. But we realized that it's not just all general best practices. Some best practices are per the organization. That's why we have the recommended agents. What are recommended agents? Recommended agents are based on your other developers' code review. So let's take a look at this one, for example. We have multiple comments from my team about how we should add stuff to logging and use logger and not console, etc., etc. So Buzz went over all of those review comments, clustered them, analyzed them, and created this really, really cool prompt. Now this prompt shows the power of LLMs. It's not just replacing console with logger. It also matches the level of the log with the message or the semantics of the message that is being logged. It also understands control flow and says, all right, if you're logging something here, you should log something also there. But that's not it. We also realize that sometimes you just want to enforce new conventions or new best practices on your organization. That's why we have custom agents. Now, of course, we at Buzz use it as well. For example, we wanted to ensure people use tracing correctly. So we built out this prompt. This is a manual prompt that says these are bad examples, but then this one with the add instrument or where we add tags, that's a good example. Now, how does it look in GitHub? I'll go over to GitHub and you'll see we use it ourselves. So this is a real pull request. You'll see that first of all, we generated a description which contains a graphical visualization of the diff. Sometimes that's even clearer than the text, but sometimes you prefer the text because whatever. But then we leverage all of the context that we created, from identifying the classes and the functions and the relationships between them, from identifying the module context and fetching the context from the ticket. We can create comments like these. So here we have an empty discussions. That's like an empty state component, and it has a button to clear the filters. Now the requirement in the ticket was to show this conditionally, and that's exactly what Buzz Reviewer says right here. The clear filters button appears in all empty states, but according to the ticket, it should only show when the empty state is caused by filtering comments out. Now this is a logical bug that would be hard even for a trained human reviewer to find, and AI just finds it very simply. It understands the ticket, it understands the code, it knows that this component is that component from the ticket, and it tells you even how you should fix it, right? You should just add this part and you're gold. Let's take a look at another example. So I made the pull request here, which contains a refactor. That's why the graph has become completely unbearable. But if you read the text, it's very simple. Refactored the Stripe service within the BFF module from a functional pattern class-based to a class-based, which helps us with observability and testability, etc., etc. I did some refactoring, but I also fixed the trial management for us, where users who finished their trial got an invoice instead of moving to pause and making sure that they want to be charged. Now, let's look at a few examples that Buzz commented here. Let's look at this one, for example. Could these independent operations run in parallel? So this is talking about performance, and it's right on. We actually have a custom reviewer for this, the parallelized independent operations. And as you can see, it actually suggested the code as I should fix it. So I just hit the commit suggestion and boom, I got the fix. Buzz also reviews the upcoming commits, so it knows to tell you, hey, this is addressed. This commit changed it by doing promise all. Now we don't do only performance. We also look at heavy logical bugs. For example, in the previous case of this function, the invalidate cache here would run every time. You see it right here. But after my change, I moved it within the if of the specific case of the event type. Now Buzz caught that and said, hey, listen, we know you're not handling all the cases, but if you're moving it inside that, the cache invalidation will not always run, and that's a big difference, and you might need to think of it. For example, when the payment intent is cancelled, you should invalidate the cache, and you're not doing that anymore. Now again, this is perfect. It implements the code for me. I can just go ahead, commit the suggestion, and it works. All of that can be available in your GitHub today. Go to BuzzCO, log in, and enjoy.